Today, one of my dreams has finally come true. I've been invited by Callaway to do my first ever full bag fitting. 816 days ago, I started from scratch, zero golf experience, and embarked on a quest to become a scratch golfer. I've traveled the world to train with the world's greatest golf coaches and have achieved a 9.7 handicap up to this point. However, I've been using the same club since day one. So today, I'm with John Deegan, an expert fitter that's been at the Callaway Testing Center in San Diego for the past 28 years. We are going to be doing a complete overhaul of my clubs from wedges to irons to putters and up to the driver.
That ball, though, it has a carrying 283, total 316.
And not only that, John is going to introduce me to unique tests you may not see at other fitters, and even grant me exclusive access to their build room where he will build me one of my custom clubs, and even share never before heard stories of his experiences with golf legends like Lee Trevino and John Rahm. So with that, let's go.
Well, we'll start off with you just hitting a few of your 7-iron.
7-iron? Okay.
Yeah, let's just do that. And I have a TrackMan aim just straight away out there at that second white flag, or out at the big tower works for you too.
Okay, sounds good.
What do you think you need to improve the most, Jerome, as far as on the ball flight?
What I usually hit is a draw, like a baby draw, a little higher.
Yeah.
And so my miss right now is like when I chunk it, because I don't like land left, and then I'll pretty much close the face too fast and it'll go low and left.
So the low and left. If you hit it clean and straight though, are you happy with trajectory, or could you use a little more height still? Those kind of look somewhat low. Is that normal, or are those a little lower because you're kind of shutting them down?
Yeah, that one's lower than usual.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So one of your good ones looks like. Let me see what the trajectory comes off like. Because we have some different setups that might spin differently.
Okay, sounds good. That was a little chunky, but like, I would say
better?
It's very relatively in that area.
Yeah, so more height will help us right off the bat. So we'll see if we can find one of the sticks that'll do that for us. It's launching 13 and spinning 5,600. That was your 7, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so those are probably pretty strong lofted, trying to get you some distance.
Yeah.
From a height standpoint, I wouldn't mind seeing it higher than that. So it's 52 feet. You know, the Tour Pros are like 100, but they got a lot more speed. They're gonna shoot it up in the air, club speed wise, launch and spin. But if we can increase your height, I'd like to see that, just from a flight standpoint for the irons. And then the land angle would also come with that. So you're at 35 degrees.
Yeah.
Usually you're shooting for like a 7-iron around 38,
Okay.
40, right in that ballpark, kind of upper 30s.
What's the landing angle? What is that?
That's the angle the ball's coming into the green.
Oh, I see.
So for an iron, it's talked about a lot for trajectory purposes coming in. Now it does coincide with how far you hit it too. So if you have a stronger lofted iron, like something like this 7-iron, this could be, I don't know what the loft, I can go to measure, but it could be like 28 degrees, 30 degrees. And then some of the other sets have 34 degrees, 33 degrees, you have more loft on them. Okay. That helps increase your launch angle also. A few different models we're gonna have. Like, so this year's model with the Callaway is the Elite.
Okay.
Okay. This one here, the Elite X, is probably very similar to what you have going on with your first set of irons there. Yeah. It's a little less loft, a little more oversized, and it's meant more for distance and probably a little flatter trajectory.
Okay.
Then you got a high launch club that's not too far off as far as the overall footprint. A little thinner top line compared to the X, and then it's got a little more loft on it, so it launches the ball easier. I see. So something as simple as that, you get more height on it right off the bat. Okay. Okay, so that's those models. Then I grabbed these 3 sets here to show you a few lines that are kind of in our apex line. So the A200 is a fantastic iron too. It's got a relatively thin top line, right? So compared to yours, it's going to look a little more like a player's club.
I see.
You know, versus the big one.
Gotcha.
That one's very similar to our Elite X. So if you're looking to move on to kind of the next set as your game progresses, I'd probably go to something a little slimmer and a little more players type club versus like the beginner club. Okay. So all 3 of these sets here that I pulled out are kind of that next step. This one's called the Apex A200. This one here is called the Tie Fusion. So we got a tie face, fusion body. This is going to also have a little bit more of a thinner top line to it. Okay. Right? And then this one here is just a straight forged iron. This was like a Japanese forged iron for us last year. Okay. Right? So that's like a tour club right there. A little more difficult to hit. Yeah. It's got a little more loft than these guys. Again, it's going to go a little higher. Yeah. We can see how you hit this one too and how they feel to you. These 2 might be an easier jump from where you're at right now. Okay. And then maybe go another year or so. Maybe you'll be into these if you're starting to drop it around par more often. Then you might want something like this. It's got a nice clean look to it. You know, you look at that guy compared to yours, and that's a little bit more of a blade look to it. The other aspect is called offset. When you put these both down, you see how you have a little more of a neck right here, that little curve? Yeah. Yeah. This comes a little more straight down. That's the offset. It's a measurement of how far the leading edge of the face is back from the front part of the shaft.
I see.
So if you drew 2 lines down, there's a little gap. That's where that little elbow comes in. So this one also has this little elbow here, offset.
I see.
So what that does is you're taking the face and pushing it back a little bit further from the front edge of the shaft. That allows players to square the face a little easier.
Oh, I see.
So a lot of times the longer clubs are more forgiving. So if you have a shorter blade, you better hit it real solid or it's going to be offline. You know, it twists a lot.
Yep.
You get a longer blade, you get more forgiveness.
Okay.
Remember, because your club's coming into the ball, right? If you're off center, the club twists a little bit.
Yeah.
So the larger the club, the less it twists, and then more ball speed goes into the ball. So there is some benefit to larger clubs. They're more forgiving.
Yeah.
The drawback is they're a little bit draggier through the rough. They're kind of one-trick ponies, just trying to bomb the ball, you know,
yeah.
that kind of thing. So usually the Tour Pro prefers something a little smaller. They can work the ball better with, gets through the rough easier, has a little more spin. They can control the ball that way. And then, you know, just the visual look of it again. It's a thicker top line compared to that.
Yeah, this is so thin.
For us, this would be your equivalent.
Okay.
Of what you're doing now with your previous set.
Okay.
So my thoughts is, you know, you're progressing pretty quick. You're only a couple years into it. I would probably go on to the next level of the set.
Yeah.
And see how they feel for you.
Okay.
And how they
Sounds
play.
good.
So I figured we hit a couple of each of these 7 irons, see if we see anything, you know, that you like, don't like, any major improvements, see how they come off as far as trajectory, and then we'll kind of go from there.
Okay.
All right, so that one is the Apex A200. Let's hit a few of those, see what our trajectory looks like. I'm gonna go grab a shaft that I can adjust the loft with on one.
Okay,
I'll be right
sounds
back.
good.
All right, let me see it this one a couple times. The same head.
Okay.
This is one of the fitting heads where I can screw it on a little differently.
Yeah.
And I've got it on with a touch more loft on it.
Touch more loft?
Yeah, just put a little more loft. You can adjust the little hosel, you know, by different setups.
Okay.
So instead of standard loft, it's got 1 degree more loft. Let's see if that gets you a little more height.
Gotcha.
It's up in the air a little better.
That last one was like the height that I usually see.
Well, I would think even in that setup, you get a little more height than what you're used to. It's got to have a little more loft than your first set there.
Gotcha.
Yeah, those look better. Let me see you hit this head once. Let's hit the high launch head too.
Yeah. That felt better too.
Yeah.
So that was just a change, same thing, but just change in loft, or?
Yes, exactly.
Oh, I already hit this one.
It's the same head. It's, you know, for us, it's our Apex A200 line.
Okay, cool.
Like I said, this is a good one where it kind of starts to get you into a little more of a player's type club, a little thinner top line, not quite as bulky, not quite as much offset. So, all right, so that's a high launch iron. Let's see if that one goes a little higher still. So this one would be the equivalent of this middle player's club with a little more loft on it.
Got it.
So again, we're just kind of looking at trajectory right now to see what they're doing for us. But that's the Elite iron family, and that's the high launch head. There you go. Yeah, I definitely like the height of this. So this has the equivalent of a 7-iron loft around 31 degrees. So instead of something that's stronger than that, like 28, 29, where they're going to come off kind of low, and then your long irons get even harder. When you get down to the 5s and 6s, they're even harder to get off the ground.
Gotcha.
So, you know, again, the high launch iron is a little more of a forgiving type club, and then we can also do this one at that loft. That's kind of what my thoughts are. This gives you a little more room for growth.
Got it.
Because you figure this one you've already been in now for a couple of years. You're probably going to play this next guy for a couple of years, and then maybe moved on to like the blade-ish type club by then. We'll see where you're at by then, but at least this would give you some growth as far as a little more of a tour club, but not quite. Okay. You know, it's kind of middle toughness, I would say.
Yeah,
and you can hit them both. It's mainly, I think just a little more loft is one of the main things that's going to help you right now. All right, let's try, I was going to give you the blade for a couple times too.
Okay, let's try it.
What I like about that one though is you're getting a little more height on some of these shots.
Yeah, I saw 3 of them where like that's probably the most ideal thing I've seen.
They're up around 76 feet in the height. The land angle's up there around 39, 40, so it comes into the green a little steeper for you instead of 35. You know, so you just got to visualize things either coming into the green like that, or you're coming a little steeper to where it's going to hold when it comes down.
Rather than
that's
just like skirting out.
Yeah, it just makes it easier to control your distances too when you're playing. You're trying to fly it to a certain number and stop it relatively close. You don't need it coming in real shallow and then having to judge the rollout too. You don't want that for iron shots into the green. But you're launching them, when I put both more loft on this one and then the high launch head, both of those you were hitting at a good trajectory coming off. So, and then this would be the one I think you'd probably work into down the road. I want you to have you hit it while you're here.
Yeah, let's try
But that's
it.
the X forged iron. So that one's got a little more loft yet.
And it's
just
heavier.
that it's a little bit tinier.
Yeah.
You know, so you start to get into a little less forgiveness when you go to something like that.
Watch me hit these ones perfect.
Yeah, you probably flush all those, right? Could be.
It's heavy too.
Yeah, those sets are usually, we have a little heavier shafts in those. Those are kind of more of like a scratch player, or some of the tour guys that come through hit those.
I mean, if this didn't pull left a lot, it feels cool. Feels good.
Yeah, I was going to say, you know, even something like that, even though it's a maybe more advanced club, and you might see guys on tour using those, you could play it. It's just going to be, you know, it's going to go a touch shorter, but more importantly on the miss hits, it's going to be a little more punishing. But it doesn't mean you couldn't even play those and enjoy them and kind of, you know, grow into them, so to say. Even that kind of a model, you're hitting a lot of nice shots with those too. You know, it's, you know, like I'm saying, it's just kind of it's a preference as to what you want to go with.
Would you say, so in regards to distance, like the one that we like, the higher height, like what is the distance difference you think?
Well, those ones that you're carrying about 164 in the air, these ones are going about 144.
Oh, I see.
So it's 20 yards.
That's okay.
You know, a lot of it is the forgiveness of the head, so you get a little more ball speed off the face.
Yeah.
And then also the loft is a little bit less. That's got a little more loft to it, so they're going to have a little more spin and a little less ball speed because of the more loft.
I see.
So again, it comes back to like a tour pro wants something like that. They have a lot of speed. They're going to hit it a long ways.
Yeah.
They want something that's going to have plenty of spin on it, plenty of height, and they can control their distance better with that.
Gotcha.
That's mainly what they're looking for. I'm going to go grab the lie board and a piece of paper to hit on the bottom of the club once.
Okay.
I want to see how your soles come through. All right, so let's do this little drill once here.
Okay.
This will tell you how the club soles out when you come into it. So
what does that mean? Sorry.
Well, we're going to check the lie angle.
Oh,
so,
I see.
You know, this is one of those things where if you're doing a lot of changes, it's a little harder because you're not maybe as consistent as what you might be if you were hitting, whatever, a few years and you got your swing kind of dialed to what you like.
Yeah.
But you put the piece of paper on the bottom, it's just like an impact paper. So when you
I
hit
see.
it's going to make a mark on it. So you just smack it off the board here, and we're looking to see how the club is coming into the ground. Are you coming in, you know, fairly level? Is it toe down? Is it heel down? That kind of thing, because you can adjust the club to have it come in more level for the player.
Gotcha.
You can order them like 1 degree flat or 1 degree upright, something like that. So just hit it off that board. Makes a little bit of a, you know, thud, but not going to break nothing. Ooh, that's a good one too. Look how nice and high you hit that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it just scraped right about there. So you can look at that, guys, as far as how it hit. So it hit just a little bit towards the toe. So as that club came down to the ground, it scraped out here on the outer part of the toe. So the impact would look something like this as far as you coming into the turf. So instead of coming in and hitting it kind of flush just like that, you're slightly here.
Gotcha.
You know, so we'll do one more. It just means your hands are slightly higher, and then it puts it a little bit toe down. If the club comes in a little bit off kilter, toe up or toe down, it could influence your ball flight to go either direction. Usually, if you're coming in toe down, it does something like this. So when you're hitting your shot, you're coming in flush, you got this thing taken off nice and straight. If it comes in toe down, it can influence that ball to take off to the right, right? And then off the heel would go more to the left.
Yeah.
So it seems like more your misses are kind of that drop kick left. That just could be you coming in the ground and flipping it over. But you do want to see if you see a trend how the player comes in, and does it also match their shot shape they're trying to see? Right? Some players might come in here and they're slicing all their shots. They hit this and it determines the club is coming in way down like that. You can order the clubs bent upright, they call it, right? And that brings the club in more level into the ground so they got a better chance to hit it straight. You know,
I see.
Like I was saying, with where you're at right now, kind of going through your changes, you might be fine just giving yourself a little more loft and leaving the lie just standard, just seeing how it plays out until you kind of get your swing plane everything dialed in.
Yeah.
Because I would say for the most part, you're pretty straight when you put a good move on it. If it misses, it's just kind of a smother.
The two things, like I kind of mentioned, if I stall, I flip at it, or I stall too back and I chunk it. So
yeah,
I think I'll figure that hopefully out in the next week or two.
Yeah, I think you guys will probably get that more swing-wise, but
yeah.
I just want to give you a feel for when you're also going through the fitting. This is kind of how you can check a lie angle. A lot of times when the tour pros roll through, we'll watch their ball flight, and if they say, hey, my whole set going good, but like my 7-iron, I keep blocking it out to the right relative to the rest of the set. I might go inside in the build room, measure a few of their lie angles, and the 7-iron might be a little flatter,
I see.
a little bit out of spec,
Got
and
it.
then they notice it from their ball flight because they're so consistent. You know,
that's crazy.
You know, or you might get, say, a guy who's a good player at a pro shop. He comes in, I'm hooking all my clubs. I don't know why I got these new irons and they're all drawing way too much.
Yeah.
And you do something like this, and they're hitting it off the heel. So you just try a flatter lie, and it goes much straighter. So you just bend the whole set like 2 degrees flat, whatever it might be.
Yeah.
You know,
that's crazy.
Yeah, that's how you can kind of determine that stuff.
Okay, let me try to hit another one.
With you just getting in, just getting rolling, it might just be simple enough to keep her standard and see where you know where it shakes out in the end. Another nice one.
I feel like I might have hit that on the toe. Yeah, a little bit.
There's a little toe again. So, if anything, I'd say your trend just to be just a little bit of the toe down as you're hitting your shots. That's pretty centered right there, though. The last one might have been out there like 1.5, but that's pretty good.
Okay.
I would say from where you're at right now and the changes you're going through. Again, I like this model. I like the lightweight, stiff steel, and then just pop your loft back like a degree.
Okay.
So when I give all this stuff to marketing, I'll just say we're going to order this set 1 degree week.
Okay.
And that gives you a little more height on all your shots,
Gotcha.
which I like.
Okay.
It got you into a better land angle. You'll hold the greens better, all that stuff.
Okay, perfect.
So
sounds good.
Okay, so after that, then the next part is you start moving through the bag. Do you want to do a 4-iron, a 5-iron? Did you want to do a hybrid? You know, because you were saying with your current set, you go from the driver pretty much to the 5-iron.
Yeah.
I've got a lot of clubs that can fit in between there.
Yeah.
Obviously.
You definitely need whatever it is to fill that gap.
I would say if you're comfortable with your 5, we can make your set down to a 5. We should hit a 4 hybrid next.
Okay.
And see if you're comfortable hitting that. And then maybe like a 5 wood or 7 wood or whatever you might want from a trajectory standpoint. But after the 5, you start getting down to 3 and 4 iron, they're getting pretty tough to hit. I think.
Sounds good.
I would say the majority of the players nowadays stop their irons at 5.
Got it.
That's pretty common.
Yeah, I've never really hit woods. It'll be interesting.
Well, let's say you do.
I feel like when I see an iron, I'm like, oh, this seems relatively easy to hit. But I don't know, the look of a wood, I'm just, maybe this is the day. We change it up.
Well, that's a 4 hybrid.
Okay.
Okay. So you have hybrids and fairway woods. Most players will play a hybrid nowadays instead of their long irons.
Oh, okay.
And the reason is to get more height and more distance.
Okay.
Right? So if you compare these kind of clubs, that's a 3. If you compare a 4 iron to a 4 hybrid, you can see the iron is much skinnier. Right? As you start to get a deeper body this way, you get the center of gravity is further back from the face, and that creates height and spin for the player.
Oh, I see.
Also, you get a little longer shaft in a hybrid relative to an iron.
Okay.
So if you're hitting a 4 iron, you got to have a lot of speed, pretty much like a guy on tour or somebody really smashing it, and you got to hit it right in the screws all the time, or you get punished. These start to make up for that kind of mishit.
I've never hit a hybrid before, so guys, history on scratch. Let's do it. Let's do it.
Well, hit it like an iron. I'd say the biggest tip I can give you is swing down through it like an iron. Don't try to scoop it in the air. That's where guys get in trouble. They start trying to scoop it up and they start topping it.
Because it looks like a driver-ish.
Yeah,
kind of.
Hit down through it.
Okay.
Pretend you're hitting your 7-iron, 5-iron, whatever you're looking at. There you go.
Oh, okay. Okay. I might change to hybrid.
You'll see as you go through a few, they pack a pretty good punch. It gets a little bit more pop than an iron does. Nice.
Wow, this feels really good.
Yeah, I thought you'd like that.
Yeah.
Nice. All right, I think you're sold.
Yeah, I think I'm sold.
You want to hit the 4 a couple times just for the hell of it?
Yeah, let's just try
you can do it.
Let's
but I would do this. No matter how good you hit this right now, I would do this one.
That's like a different feel. I've never experienced
that.
I
mean, you're going to like the hybrid. Yeah, that's a pretty good hit for a 4-iron.
Yeah, not too bad.
You see how much lower it is.
Yeah, it's super
right?
low.
my thoughts in your bag as you go down to a 5. We get this out, and this will be your 4-iron.
Okay,
right?
perfect.
Then the next stick after that is going to be a 5-wood. So
Okay.
I can try the 5-wood next.
Yeah.
So you don't have that one either, but those are both ones that are good gapping clubs down to your 3-wood. There you go, good. There you go, good. That's a good ball. That's the height you're after for a 5-wood.
Okay.
It's going to be up in the air like that. Are you grinding like each week doing lessons and stuff and just?
Yeah, I do. I play and practice 7 days a week and probably like
That much, huh? Wow.
It's like all I do.
Reminds me back in my college days when that's all I did was golf.
Yeah. But yeah, this new move is, I mean, it's more consistent. Like I know what I'm gonna miss, and it's just now I just have to grind the things that are like lacking, which I know how to fix, but it's just gonna take time.
Yeah. Well, you're definitely putting the effort in.
Yeah.
that's a tour pro regimen. Hitting that much. Nice.
Oh, a little toey, but
It's okay, a little push, but still good.
Yeah.
The contact is good on all those. If you're not hitting a fairway before, that's nice.
yeah, this is awesome.
Yeah,
Definitely.
I like each of those.
So are we adding a 3-wood as well? Is that
Yeah,
the
we'll do a
move?
3-wood next.
Ooh, the bane of my existence, but I need it.
Let's try this one. Here's a 3-wood. So now you're down to 15 degrees. That 5-wood was about 18 degrees. Right, so now you're getting a little bit further down the road.
Yeah.
The 3-woods are nice for, off the deck, par 5s, you're trying to get home in 2, teeing off on tight par 4s. A lot of good players are going to tee off with 3-woods quite a bit on short par 4s.
Yeah, I'm bombing driver every time, so.
That's what you do?
Yeah.
Just bomb driver on all of them?
Yeah, right now, or like if it's like a dog leg crazy, I'll hit a 5-iron, but usually I'm just bombing driver.
Yeah. Well, hit a couple off the deck, and then we'll tee up a couple and see how you do with it. Nice. Look at that.
Wow, that was the best
That's probably the best fairway you ever hit.
ever.
That was nice for your first one.
Yeah, that's
That thing carried 233, total was 257.
okay. And that was kind of a flippy. Once I get the compression down, I think we get some good numbers.
That came off good though.
Yeah.
It launched at 10, and then backspin was 3,700. That's pretty good.
Okay.
Yeah, you're looking for right around 9 to 11, and then the backspin 33, 3,500.
Yeah.
That was a good ball. You swung 98 at it and carried it 233. I mean, I'd pick that all day long. Nice.
Wow.
Now you found a club you like. Put that one right in the bag.
Yeah, this one I'm gonna hit. Like, yeah.
You spun them both 3,700 too. That's unusual. You
That
spun them both within 100 RPMs of each other. Let me see you hit this one once.
I'm trying.
This one is called the Triple Diamond for Callaway.
Yeah.
It's considered more of the tour head.
Oh, the triple diamond.
Yeah.
Okay.
So both 3-woods, right? Both 15 degrees. A little different finish.
Oh,
Right?
this
You got a
looks good.
gloss black versus the matte black. And then usually there's a little more draw bias built into this one. This one's a little more neutral. So some players who, if they fight the slice, they consider this neutral because it's going pretty straight for them. But I want to see you hit this one too.
Okay.
If it's something that you like the look of better and you're hitting it just as straight, that's another option for you.
Okay. Yeah, because I tend to hit a draw or push it left or like
Yeah.
pull it left.
Well, and some guys like the look of that one too, being a little smaller and the gloss finish.
Yeah, the gloss
So,
finish looks pretty nice.
I figure might as well have you hit them both. Nice.
That was pretty nice.
Right down the line again. The
That's
way
the
I
same
look
one.
at it is if you're hitting this one, if they're hitting both fairly straight, you're not fighting a slice, I'd go with the triple diamond because this is going to influence a little more draw.
Okay.
So in our place, I always hit a little bit of a left to right wind. So if you're hitting that thing straight in here, you'll be fine. If you're hitting this thing with a little bit of a draw in here like you were, it's going to probably draw more when you get away from our wind.
Okay.
So
yeah.
my thought after watching you hit this thing pretty good, but then draw a couple, that's why I thought about trying that one.
Yeah, let's
so,
do this one.
I
Sure.
think you'd be okay with that one.
Yeah.
Probably have a nice, nice neutral shot shape. I don't see you having to fight a slice or anything. I think you'd be fine. All right, so let's do something like a 10-5 driver. What do you do? What was your old one?
This is the one I use right now.
You got a 9.
Oh, I'm in a
Okay.
9. Okay.
You think you're going to be more of an X? Are you going to be up above 110? Where'd you go?
I mean, like I said, I've hit at 122. 2 months ago, the average was 116 to 119.
Okay, then let's do an X.
The swing speed dropped a lot when we made some changes, but I think over time we'll get it back. Hopefully.
Okay.
That's like the goal.
Yeah.
Get it back.
All right, so that's the same one, the Triple Diamond Max 9.0. Then it's got a 60X. There's tees in that cup right there too.
Oh, okay.
We got tees out here.
They're prepared. They're
Yeah.
prepared.
We can afford them. All right, TD Max 9. All right.
Let's see.
There you go, coming around.
What was that at?
Let me see here, still thinking. Where is it at? Your ball speed's 165. So that was probably 10, 11, 110, 111.
Yeah, I feel like my ball speed is lacking because of my flip.
Yeah. Well, you're working on it.
Yeah.
It's all right.
One day, one day.
That launched at a good height though, 12 degrees.
Yeah,
That
that was
came
like
off-
the draw what I usually hit.
Yeah, that was a good ball. Nice.
Yeah, that's usually the shot.
That was 109, 165. That was a good ball.
Yeah. I feel like I'm losing a lot of it because I pull it so much from here.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
Well, even that ball though, it has it carrying 283, total 316.
Oh, okay. Dang,
know?
that's pretty.
Yeah, it launched at 11 and a half and 2400. So you got a good setup, I think, already with your old smoke. I would do the same thing in the new one.
Okay, perfect.
That was good. Perfect launch and spin. Nice.
This feels so much better than my driver. I don't know.
Right down the line.
And I feel like I'm mishitting them, and I just look up and they're,
Yeah.
I don't know why.
Well, they are. Everything is a little more forgiving each year, but it's not like it's a huge difference from last year's model. So you're just putting a good move on it. That one was good again, 277. Because it kind of drew, it had lower spin, so it gave you a roll all the way to 325. That's probably a little bit more, but
That's exaggerated.
But even so, you swung 108, ball speed 163. That's good.
Okay.
Yeah, I like it. Launch angle 12 and a half. Come
Push
look at
that
this, just because that's the reason.
Yeah, I pushed that one so
Your
hard.
swing path is when you're working with
It's like
Dana. I didn't
it's
get
so,
it that time, of course.
So much in.
Yeah, 10,
Yeah.
10, right? So you're hitting up on it 1.7, perfect, but you want to swing a little more down the line. If you're coming at it that far from the inside, you better flip your hands to get it to go straight, or you can hit that push like you
Yeah.
just did. So it still is going out there nicely, but you'll dial your dispersion if you get that down around 2. This is
like
coming
this.
off nice. I like this from the club standpoint.
Yeah.
I like 9, I like in a 6X, that's all good there.
Okay.
Well, like I said, we'll do the same thing kind of in the 3-wood. We'll do a 6X driver, we'll have a 7X in the 3-wood and the 5-wood. We'll have an 8X then in that hybrid,
Yeah.
right? And then we
Okay.
had those steel shafts written in the irons. But as far as from the driver fitting standpoint, I like those numbers right there, to where you're
Yeah.
launching it around 12 and your backspin is middle 2000s.
So
It's perfect.
So what is it like that looks like at a 2000 spin rate? So it just like
Well, it launches up and kind of stays flat for a longer period
I see.
versus taking off and climbing a lot. Like if your spin's over $3,000 on the driver, it's going to have much more of a plane taking off kind of flight. Too much rise.
yeah.
And then if you were to say hit a high toe shot or something where it kind of dives off, you might see like 1800
Oh, I see.
RPMs.
Okay.
So too low a spin is just as bad as too high. It can just fall out of the air.
Yeah.
So you're trying to live right in those middle 2000s. And a lot of it has to do with how you deliver the club too. You're coming 1.7 on the upswing, which is good. And you got 9 degree.
Okay.
So I like all that.
Yeah.
If we were hitting like a 10 and a half or a 12 or whatever, you'd be launching it higher and then spinning it too much.
I
So I just kind of copied what you had in the bag and kind of see how it was going to work, but it came off good.
Yeah.
If you'd have been launching these things at say 6 degrees and your spin was 2000, I'd have put you in a 10.5 instead.
Okay. Yeah.
Or the player tries to change their swing and hit up on it, that kind of stuff. But usually we just give the club that works with how they're swinging here.
Okay.
Because most folks are not going to change too much. Again, you're a little more of an unusual setup because you're working on your swing so much.
Yeah, exactly.
A lot of the players we might see come in here, they're 20 handicaps, have been playing for 20 years, and they're not going to change much. You just fit them to what they're doing.
Gotcha.
Right? So we're giving you a little bit of a growth in the clubs, slimming the club down just a little bit, triple diamond fairways and stuff. That's all a little more towards the tour level. And then the rest is you kind of just dialing in the path and tack the way you come into it.
Yeah, if I
So-
could dial the path and then, just transfer my weight a little bit more to avoid the chunks and pull lefts, I think we'll be a really good spot.
Yeah, you'll get all that. That's not a problem.
That's just another. Should we do what's next? Wedges?
You want to see a couple wedges? Yeah. What are your thoughts as far as, so you'll take it on down to the set, down to the pitch, and then did you want to get like in the forge wedges? We'll do like a 50, 54, 58 or 50, 56, 60.
Yeah.
I mean, what do you like for your?
So I right now only have a 56 and a 60 and an A wedge.
Okay.
But I feel like to get more precise on those distance, we need a little bit more. Is that
Well,
usually route? Or?
if you can basically, this thing comes in right around 48, relative to the pitch. We're going to have your pitch one back, so it'd be 49. So we could do a 50 degree in the forage wedge.
Okay.
And then if you like 60 for your top one, you would go 50, 56, then it's a 55, and then go 60. So it goes 5 degrees between them.
Okay, that
so
sounds good.
Let me grab the wedge bag. All right, you got to hit every one of these 5 times.
And 100 push-ups every time you miss
this bag, you can just sit here and do curls with.
Yeah, exactly. What do you have in your bag? Everyone always says they have a 54. I don't know.
Well, I have 50, 54, 58. Okay. I can do everything I want with a 58 that I can with a 60. I've tried both over the years.
What do you think? I rarely use my 60.
Then I think you should try that. I would do 50, 54, 58. I think they're easier to play with. I just didn't know if if you're in love with a 60 and that's what you do, then you're fine. But
no, I only really use 60. I say maybe in the bunker.
Well, you can do that with a 58 though easily.
Yeah. Okay.
Do you see oh, here it is. So these are the 3 I would do. So.
And is it like marginal for 54 versus 56? I mean, I've always just played a 56 because someone told me to buy it, but I didn't like.
It's just a matter of loft.
Okay.
You're gonna hit a 54 probably 7 yards further.
Okay. Cool.
6, 7 yards further. Usually like 2.5, 3 yards per degree.
Is it rare to have like 4, like a 50, 54, 56, 58? Like, is
yeah,
that
you wouldn't do that.
Okay,
They're too close together.
I see, got it.
You don't need anything closer than 4 degrees.
Okay.
You don't need them 3 degrees apart. It's not enough to worry about.
Okay. Yeah, let's do that. That sounds good.
And then what I was going to say, do you see the difference in that sole compared to these ones? And you see S grind, C grind. It's like a letter C. So in the lob wedge, whether it's a 58 or a 60, a lot of the pros will play something with a little bit of heel relief. So the heels ground off a little bit.
Okay.
And the reason that is that's the one you're hitting flop shots with around the green, or you can open the face up a little bit around the green to hit shots.
Okay.
So as you grind that part off of the back, it makes it easier to lay it open, and the front edge does not come up off the ground. So it's not like that, it's going to sit down a little better. If you have one of these clubs that doesn't have that, like say if you get a 58 10S, right, that little grind is gone.
Yep.
Now it's just straight. So there's a little more metal back here. So when you open it up, it lifts the front edge up off the ground a little more, right? So it's not quite as easy. When you open it up, it kind of keels off that back edge. It's not as easy to keep that front edge tight to the ground.
Got it.
I don't know if you're there yet or not, but this is a more common grind for that top wedge. So my suggestion would be just to do these 3.
Okay.
You know, you can hit a couple with each of them, just get a little feel for them. Not much as far as the fitting part of it, but the straight sole for these ones is fine because you're not hitting open face shots with these as much.
Okay.
Just more or less your square shot in the fairway into the green. Yeah, hit a couple of those, get a little feel for them.
Oh, these feel way better. Even if that mishead was like, this feels really good.
But those Opus wedges this year are nice.
Yeah.
They got a nice consistent launch and spin. They spin plenty. Yeah, you'll like those. Especially fresh grooves. That was a nice one.
Yeah.
Nice little nipper, low launch, plenty of spin.
Yeah, that feels good. Ding.
That little shot right there even spun 7,000. That's good.
Oh, dang.
Hit little 80-yard knockdown.
This is the 58. I feel like a new man. You say you're shooting like 69s and seeing people shooting 64s. What do you think the biggest difference of like
short game and putting?
They're just like dialing in everything.
Yeah, it's short game and putting.
Yeah. Everyone could hit it far and straight relatively.
Well, I hit it a mile.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm 6'3", my arms are 6'6". When I came here, I used to swing 125 just without even trying. So I used to bomb it.
Yeah.
And then hit it to like 4 feet and miss the putt. You know? And the other guy's like 20 yards behind me. He hit it to 15 feet and make it. And I'm like, okay, I can't do this.
This guy's ridiculous.
You're going to drive me insane.
Yeah. Oh my God. That is,
it was fun.
Wild.
What do you want to do for grips?
Oh, yeah.
Do you have any grips you like?
Are there grips here we could try, like feel?
Yeah, I can show you a few in the build room.
I think there's
you want to go do that?
Yeah, let's do that.
Let's go.
I think we're pretty good here.
We got everything out here we need, yeah.
Awesome.
All right. I tried to cover a couple of prototypes out that come out later in the year.
Okay.
All right, so this is the build room. We're going to give you a 6X, right?
Let's do it.
Let's do one real quick. You're going to do the Ventus Blue.
Go around here.
We're going to do a 6X in your driver and then a 7X in your fairway wood. So we'll tip it like a tour pro. All right, so that's a 1-inch tipping. So we're going to cut 1 inch off the end for you. We're going to zip the end off right here. Okay. We got to do that so it doesn't get too slick inside this little deal I put on here. So we do epoxy on this guy, squirt of that. And this is the glass bead you put in there, and that kind of makes it a little bit thicker. So when you put the shaft in there, it holds itself in place a little better. You're basically just filling in the inside of that hosel, like putting a bunch of little balls inside there, BBs. So you put a little on the shaft like that. You know, quite that much. This goes down in here, wipe it around. You got to put this little end cap on there so it looks pretty. All right, I'm getting a little bit too much on there. Okay, now this goes on. And then you line up the graphics. There's a little dash on this. You line up with the graphics going down like that. That's underneath. So this little tick right here gets lined up with the graphics. And you put that guy on, get all that off. Okay. And then you normally let this guy sit for a little bit so it can just harden. We'll have you pick out a grip real quick, and we'll slap it on there. So now it's just the raw length, right? It's like a 48-inch driver, so you got to cut it to 45 3/4. So we'll put the head on there, and then we cut it off to length and put your grip on. But let's pick out a grip. So these are some common ones like I was showing you outside. This is called a Tour Velvet, right? That you've seen before. And then these ones here are that New Decade. It's a black and white with a little bit of cord. There's different colors and stuff, right? There's blues and a few things too. There's other ones called a +4, where the bottom part of the grip is built up a little thicker. You know, so it's a little bit harder to rotate the hands over. Again, it might be getting a little more advanced. I'm not sure you need to worry about that part yet. I'm just thinking just texture-wise what you might like.
What do you think the most used one on tour is?
Probably the Tour Velvet or one of those.
Okay.
More than likely. And this one's called a Tour Wrap.
Oh, I've seen these recently.
Yeah, it's all a matter of what you like. None of them's going to make you a better player, I don't think. It's all a matter of what you're comfortable using.
Yeah. I mean, I've always used these, but these ones could be the new thing.
Want to try it?
That get me to scratch.
This will be what does it.
This is none of the things that we just did.
Nothing else matters.
Yeah, nothing else is those.
It's just that, yeah. All right, so now we got to cut this thing to length.
Yeah.
So you come over here, you put it on this, you push this down to the length we want. We're going to go 45 1/2. When I put the grip on, it gets just a little bit longer than that. Cut him off right there. So now he goes back in the machine. You zip this off and you put your grip on. And that's how you make a shaft. So this is the putting studio. We've got a couple of different models. You can see there's all kinds of choices, but there is AI1 milled, which is a milled face. On this side, a little firmer.
Yeah.
And then you have the typical Odyssey inserts on the other side, where they're a little softer.
Okay.
So maybe just hit one of each style, get a feel for the insert, see which one you like there first, and then you can kind of choose your models. So let's just do this. Hit a couple over here. I'll just turn the laser on. You can just swat a couple on this thing.
So what are you looking for in a putting fitting? Like,
well, if you're going through all this, like Nick outside does a lot of the putter fitting, it's pretty advanced as far as how you deliver it. You might tweak the lie, the loft, you know, a little bit of a 1/2 degree here and there based on how you roll it.
Yeah.
I'm just going to have you pick out a model today that we'll get to you. You don't have to worry, you know, if they're going in or nothing. I just want to just get the feel part out of the way. All right, so a little clickier. You can feel it as you hit it. Do one more and then grab the other one. You will hear and feel it softer with the white insert.
Gotcha. It's definitely clicky.
Huh?
Super clicky.
Yeah. Okay, grab that other one over there by the computer, right there on the leading. Grab that one. Yeah, if you want the little softer feel, that'll do it. Yeah.
What's the pros and cons?
Some of the pros like the softer one for faster greens, and then just feel in general, off the face. Some are used to maybe a firmer feel over the years, and some are used to Odysseys already.
Oh, definitely soft.
Yeah, feel how soft. You can hear the difference. Yeah. Just go a little slower if you're going to try to make couple. You can just trickle it down here.
Oh, okay.
Like that one you hit dead center, but you rammed it right through the hole. There you go. That one's in.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I feel like for me, the softer ones are always it feels better.
Yeah. I do too.
I just feel it feels like a miss hit when I don't like. I guess the feel of like click. I'm like, oh god, that feels like a miss hit. Even though dead center.
It almost feels like a thin iron hit to where it vibrates a little more.
Yeah, exactly.
I like the soft feel.
Or like I'm using a plastic ball or something.
Yeah. Okay, so if that feels good, then you've got this whole side over here for choices.
Okay.
So
what are the high level like pros and cons of these?
Your biggest difference is you've got blades, which is going to be this kind of style here, right?
Yep.
That's your blade style versus mallets.
Yes.
That's up to you. I mean, again, you can be talking with Derek or whoever on what you might want for what you're after. I think mallets are easier to putt with.
Okay.
Any style of mallet, I think, is more forgiving.
Okay.
The other difference now, you see how it has a double bend shaft, we call it?
Yes.
That is like a face balance putter. So if you hold it up like that, the face points straight up, right? If I grab this same model with, say, this hosel, see how it hangs a little bit to the side now?
Yep.
Instead of being like right up there?
Yeah.
Yeah. So in general, if you got a little bit they call toe hang, this one doesn't have as much as, say, slant hosel. Yeah, look at this one. This one will hang a little more down. So yeah, this little hosel here versus the double bend hosel. So I guess the easy way to explain it is the face balance one is probably your best bet. That keeps you the most stable, I feel, on a simpler putting stroke.
Yeah.
If you get a little bit of toe hang to a putter, whether it's a mallet, one of these guys, whatever it is, that tends to work a little bit better if you got a little bit of arc in your stroke and you're trying to rotate the face. I think it's a lot more timing going on in a putting stroke. I'd rather just have the double bend where I can just rock it back and forth. There you go. You're still hitting it quite hard, though.
Yeah. It's between this one and the 7.
All right. Well, whatever you like.
I like the line. I wish there was a line on this, but
you got to go with those 3 dots on that one.
Kind of messes me up. I'm gonna go with the 7.
7?
Yeah.
All right.
Another question is, what's like the best moment or memory you have with any of the pros? If you have any.
With any of the pros?
Yeah, in your lifetime here.
Well, I had a lot of fun with a lot of the pros. I mean, I would say maybe when Lee Trevino, I always tell the Lee Trevino story, but when he was in our staff many years ago, and I was working with him, and I met him here early, because I get here usually 6:45. He was here right off the bat at 7, ready to go. And this is before we had the range redone. We had like a 1 single wedge green off to the left, and then a couple target greens on the range. Now there's a big putting green out there on the left side, if you saw it.
Yeah.
But he was hitting on the far side of the range, across getting warmed up, and his first wedge was like to a foot. I mean, it's just right out of the car. Hits the first one to a foot, and then he makes the next one. And he looks at me and he goes, we need to get some pins that'll move around. The ones that sit there are too easy. And he just starts laughing right off the bat. I'm like, here we go. We call him the Merry Mex. And then that's just exactly how the guy was. He literally made the second wedge shot out of the car in the morning. And then he was just having a great old time.
7 a.m.
Yeah.
Savage.
All right, so anyways, double-sided tape. So I measured it out, so it's just the length of the grip.
Yeah.
You put the juice in there, and then this comes out the bottom. So you get up and down the grip like that, and then on she goes. Line that guy up just like that. Bring him up here, clean him up, and you're good to go. Right?
Oh.
So you wouldn't be hitting this now for another hour because that might slip around, but that's the grip.
Yeah, this feels pretty good.
Okay.
Guys, this is it. The start of a new generation, new clubs.
This is the answer.
This is the answer to all my prayers.
After everything we did, this is all we had to do. We should have started here with a grip.
Yeah, the grip was all I need. I don't even know what driver that is or whatever the specs.
Oh boy.
We're gonna be a scratch golfer now.
All our talents are wasted on the grip.
That is the wrap for the first ever with Callaway. It's been amazing. We're here in San Diego. It's gonna be a game changer. As you guys know, the Scratch to Scratch journey, we've been using the same clubs, and it's just been a pleasure. I just want to thank you so much, man.
I look at it as you're heading to the next level of your sticks now.
Yeah.
Right? Instead of kind of the beginner set, now you got a whole set all the way down. All the gapping's good. Yeah. Hybrid and 5-wood. All your wedges are gapped.
Yeah.
We're beefing up your shafts a little bit, giving you a little more of a middle tour type club.
Yeah.
And it's a good set for you to play with the next year or two, and then you move on to, see where you're at.
We'll
if
see
you're
where
down
we're
to
at.
scratch, then you move on to the blades.
We'll come back here and we'll get the blades.
If you get there, exactly.
If we
That's
get
what you
there.
are.
Guys, well, thank you so much for tuning in. Hey, stay tuned, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.
Today at Callaway was such an amazing experience and a dream come true. I wouldn't have ever thought I would have this opportunity when I started playing golf 816 days ago. Just a kid with a dream, but we still have a long way to get the scratch, and the best of my content is yet to come. So hopefully you guys subscribe, and if you want more real-time updates of the Scratch to Scratch journey, follow me on Instagram at jerome.roofin. But until then, YouTube thinks you would actually love this video on screen, so give it a click, give it a watch. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you there.